What do we have here?
I've got an antique 1891 cast iron Traders Bank of Canada. It's like a big piggy bank.
That is pretty cool.
There's 1,500 of them originally made. One of these is in a museum in Canada, in Toronto.
I believe it. There's a lot of weird museums in Toronto.
That's true. Today I'm at the pawn shop to sell my Traders Bank of Canada. I'm not a collector of antique banks. I just saw this one. I really liked it. I'm hoping to sell it for $2,500.
This is really neat. Cast iron banks became real popular 1880s, 1890s. And they were basically promotional things for like middle-class families with kids. They wanted to create a culture of saving, and when like these kids did get older, they would go to this bank. You had the little slot there. Each person could have their slot, or you could have one for each coin. And in 1891, people didn't like paper money for savings because most people regarded paper money as a receipt for real money, which was gold or silver coins.
Nice.
You'll see $20 bills from back then, and they will literally say $20 in gold coin redeemable at,
Right.
or redeemable for silver dollars. So where'd you get it?
I bought it in an estate sale about 5 years ago.
You mind if I take a look at it?
Please.
This is sort of a semi-famous one. I've seen a couple of these over the years. The way I remember it, this had like a gold paint on it. This was just oiled cast iron on top.
Yeah.
It's in decent condition. Looks like there's already some issues from the rust.
Yeah, it's exactly the way it was when I got it.
So how much do you want for it?
I've done some research on it, and I've seen it go as high as $4,000, but I'm thinking that I would be happy with $2,500.
Okay, I think that's a little high. It's not the best of shape, and you know how these things are. Condition is everything.
Right.
I give you like $900 for it. I think I can get $1,400, $1,500 out of it.
Can you do a little bit better than that? 1,500?
Go 1,000.
How about 12?
I'll go $1,100. I won't go a dime more.
1,100.
I'm sure it's a lot more than the $5 you paid for it at an estate sale, so.
That's true. All right, you got a deal.
Sweet. I'll meet you right up front, and we'll do some paperwork.
Excellent. I was very happy to make a deal today. I've decided that I'm going to give the $1,100 to my wife. After all, happy wife, happy life.
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
What do we got?
Old school Indian motorcycle toolbox.
Oh, wow. Do you mind if I take a look at it?
Yeah, absolutely.
These are actually pretty cool, man. When you buy a car today, you expect to have a car with a warranty and they're gonna take care of it and fix it every time.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they give you a toolbox with it.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my old toolbox that used to be on the Indian motorcycle. I got this from my neighbor who was just throwing out old memorabilia from motorcycles, and so I decided to grab it. I believe it's from the 1930s. I'm looking to get about $200 for this, and anything's better than nothing.
You got something really cool here. Old Indians are awesome. They were founded in the 1800s. They were actually a bicycle company, but in the early 1900s, these guys were way ahead of the game as far as motorcycle manufacturing. In the 1920s, they just basically blew up the market with the Indian Scout. It was a really fast, really cool bike. I'm assuming this was the one that was mounted on the 4-cylinder between 36 and 39 when the Sport Scout came out. This was actually mounted on the swing arm because back then they expected you to know how to work on your motorcycle when you bought it.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, with Indian, anything is collectible. So, any idea what you want to get out of it?
$200?
Well, it's your lucky day, man. I'm telling you right now, you got something really kind of cool here, and I know what I can get for it. I can sell this for at least $1,000. I'm kind of robbing you if I only give you 2. Let me give you 4. You okay with that?
How about a 700?
You wanted 2, and I offered you more than you were asking.
How about 600?
How about 4?
5?
Do you know how generous I'm being right now? I'm giving you twice as much as you asked for when you came in here. Let me give you $400 and we'll call it a day, all right?
All right. Got double what I was asking for, so I'm ecstatic. Now that I have $400, I'll tell my wife I got the 200 and keep 200.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
What do we got here?
Well, my wife told me to come down and make you an offer you couldn't refuse. This is Marlon Brando's personally owned 1950s biker leather coat.
This was not a movie-worn jacket.
No, it's a personally owned.
God, I so wish it was a jacket he wore on the waterfront or
Wild ones?
or in The Godfather.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna ask you a favor.
I've come to the pawn shop to sell my 1950s motorcycle jacket that was owned by Marlon Brando. This jacket comes from the Joe Franklin memorabilia collection. It was auctioned off a couple years back. I just couldn't refuse it.
Pretty cool. All right. Well, it's Brando. Marlon Brando really was that amazing actor. I mean, he was basically the original actor doing like method acting. If he was going to do a part, he tried to live it for a month before he actually started filming. You know, I guess his like super breakout hit was probably A Streetcar Named Desire, because they cast him for that because he was in the play. And I think today most people know him as the Godfather, because you really couldn't have had anybody. I can't even imagine that movie with anyone else playing him. So where'd you get it?
I bought it off a guy who bought it from an auction.
So you don't have any pictures from the auction?
I do not. The auctions only has a picture of the coat, and all I had was just a letter of authenticity.
Okay. So, by my signature, I hereby certify that the aforementioned item of memorabilia is the original, authentic, and gifted personally to me, to my memory lane collection, by the timeless personality, Marlon Brando. All right, sweet. And from the looks of it, this is actual wear, not like today where they purposely make something beat up.
Distress.
How much are you looking to get out of this?
I'm looking to get $15,000 for it.
Okay, 15 grand. I'll give you 8 grand.
I know you need to make money yourself. I get that. 10 grand? That's knocking down 5,000 from my asking.
I'll give you 8 grand. It's a fair price. You know, it sold just a couple of years ago for 11. I figure that's probably what I'll get out of it when I put it in an auction.
Come up a little bit more?
8,500.
We can make that work.
All right, sweet. I will meet you right over there, and we'll just paperwork.
Sounds good. I didn't get the $15,000 I was asking for, but his offer of $8,500 was fair, and now I'll be able to give my daughter some money for a down payment on her house.
I had a customer come in who has an Ezekiel Baker breech-loading rifle from the 1800s. Alex is really excited about this. You don't really ever get to see prototype, one-of-a-kind guns. The seller's asking $12,500. I'm out at the range today to see if this rifle fires and everything works correctly. It could be worth $20-some thousand.
So I'm pretty sure Dad's gonna be pissed that you brought me out here instead of him.
You know what? He just would have made everything more complicated and annoying. What's up, Alex?
How you doing, man? I'm well.
Hey, what's up,
See you again, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, so this is one of England's finest gun makers from the 19th century. This is a prototype, or it was custom made for a specific customer at the time.
Wait. He said prototype, so what do you mean? It's not real?
I mean, Baker made this either as a prototype, like a one-off, in order to try to sell it as mass market, or he just made it as a custom order. So a guy came in and said, I want a really good hunting rifle, but I want a breech loader.
Oh, this is why you should have brought your dad.
So, we ready to fire this thing, or?
Yeah, we're ready to go. So the first thing we do is we use this little lever. We insert the ball, push the lever forward. Now that ball rolls forward into a little chamber, and now, see, the ball is gone. So then I take the black powder, dump that into the little chamber, push it forward, and now it is loaded. Okay, eyes and ears.
Here comes the bang.
Woo!
So at least it didn't blow up and it works.
No, it didn't blow up at all.
That was cool.
The lever stayed down. That actually worked pretty well.
So what are we thinking it's worth?
I think based on the fact that it works as designed, you know, there's not another example out there. It's a prototype. It's super rare, Corey, and it's a really nice looking gun. I think you get $25,000 for it.
Wow. Whoa.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
So, you still want $12,500 for it?
Well, he said it's worth 25, so.
Would you do 15?
I know you gotta make some money. How about 22?
How about 18? It's gonna be the most I can do.
All right, I can do 18.
All right, cool.
Appreciate it.
You wanna meet me back at my shop? I'll get you a check and get you paid, all right?
Sounds good, thank you.
Cool.
I was super happy I was able to make a deal today. It wasn't the 25 grand that he said it was worth, but 18,000. Super happy. My wife's gonna be really happy.
Dude, the guy's wearing a Rolex. I never thought he was gonna go that low.
Awesome. Now I'm gonna go find Chum. All right, good luck. Thanks. Hopefully Murray made him disappear. Permanently. Chum! I think it's great. It was just a little way to skate around the law. I'll go $2,700. I shouldn't even go that high.
$2,750.
I swear I'll walk over $50.
I will too.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Gonna set up a little casino in here or something?
Not a bad idea. I have a 1933 Rockola horse race machine, and if the odds are in my favor today, I'll make a deal. I'm selling it for health reasons. My wife told me that she's gonna kill me if I don't start getting rid of some of these machines.
This is deeply cool. This was 1920s, 1930s, the whole temperance movement. Drinking is bad, gambling is bad, everything that's fun is bad. I don't know who these people were. They just wanted to like make life suck, you know what I mean? They wanted to take away all the good stuff. And all these slot machine companies had to come up with a way to sell slot machines, but not sell slot machines.
Exactly.
So the slot machine manufacturers came up with the term trade stimulator. But everyone knew exactly what they were for. They were gambling machines.
Sure.
This is the horse race / Wheel of Fortune, right?
Right. This is made by a company called Rockola. They made these from 1932 to 1935. You would go into a store, and they would have this on the counter. The gum is actually just a front to say that it was a candy machine, not a gambling machine. Basically, you could bet with the store owner or bet with your buddies. Pick what horse you want. You put the penny in, and the horses will run. And the flag will tell you which horse won, and the ball will tell you what the odds are gonna pay.
I think it's great. It was just a little way to skate around the law.
And that's why you hardly find these things anymore. A lot of these were destroyed. You know, when the cops came in and they found these, they'd take an axe to them.
Just great Americana.
Oh, yeah.
And the big question, how much you want for this thing?
I'm hoping to get wholesale, which is about $3,000 for this machine. This would retail at an auction anywhere from $4,000 to $4,500.
Give you $2,200, because I am gonna have to spend a couple $100 to make it a little prettier.
Well, I'd give you...
I'm here on the East Coast because Alex has told me about a 1763 Dutch East India Company cannon for sale. And I'm gonna go check it out right now.
Mike?
Yep. What's going on?
Ah, same old,
Nice to
same
meet
old. This is pretty interesting.
Awesome. I've had this for about 10 years and redoing my house. I don't want to get rid of it, but my wife is like, we need a kitchen.
So where did you get this?
I picked it up in a shop when I was traveling on the road a couple years back. Thought it looked awesome. I mean, looks like it's been in battles. It's got scars and stuff on it.
Were you using it for like home defense?
I've had this cannon for a long time. Being a pirate guy, I thought it would be a lot of fun to build a pirate basement. And we're doing a lot of work and a big renovation on our home, so freeing up some extra money would really help out.
It is super cool. I love the fact that it's got the symbol for the Dutch East India Company there.
Yep, 1763. So I did a little bit of research on it. I'm not sure what battle it's been in. I mean, I think there's blood still on it from over here, from back in some battle. I mean, that's definitely pirate-esque.
Yeah, it could definitely have been stolen by pirates. But if it was made for the Dutch East India Company, we know it was made for a ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the Dutch East India Company was started right around 1600, and they traded with everybody. They didn't care if you were Muslim, they didn't care if you were a Jew, they didn't care if you were Protestant, Catholic. You know, let's all just get along and make money. It made Holland the richest country in Europe. Have you ever fired it?
I've never fired it. I know it does fire because I had someone look at it, but I've never personally fired it.
How much you want for it?
I'm thinking 35-ish. That's kind of where I'm at.
3,500?
No, 35,000. That I can't do.
It's in amazing shape. Matter of fact, it's almost in too good a shape. So,
Well, let's check it out. I'm asking you for a lot of money, so I want to make sure that you're buying the right thing.
all right, so I'm gonna give Alex a call and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you. Alex is a really good friend of mine, so having him look at the Canon and giving it the the actual appraisal amount would be fantastic.
So you don't even stop and say hi first? You just go straight to the Canon?
I was really curious about what size the bore was. How you doing?
How's it going?
Hey, man.
What's up, man? How you doing,
Good
Alex?
to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I called Rick in Vegas and told him about this Dutch East India Company Canon that he had to come and see. Rick is really attracted to things that are a little bit different, but also has some kind of cultural reference. And so this is the ultimate piece.
So, what do you think?
So it's a 2.5-inch bore. In English naval terms, that means it's a 2-pounder, or they also call this size cannon a Falcon. This is a classic naval cannon. I mean, I told you it would be worth coming to see, right?
It's pretty amazing.
It's impossible to tell what the history of this really was, or where it was found. But the Dutch East India Company merchant ships were all over the South Pacific. And so, the spice routes, all the trading, I mean, they had an incredibly strong navy. But the pirates knew that these guys were carrying millions of dollars in goods. And so if they could capture what was on that, they were set. This is exactly what pirates would want.
All right, so is it all original?
So according to this marking, Peter Seest made this cannon in 1763 in the city of Amsterdam for the Dutch East India Company, which is the VOC, which means Dutch East India Company in Dutch. And the nice thing about this VOC is it's not just engraved in. There's actually a small raise to these letters, which means it's part of the original casting.
Okay.
The tube itself is 100% correct. The way in which it's cast, all of these bands, all of this is correct. The patina is excellent. This is extremely hard to fake. This greenish, dark greenish color is exactly what collectors look for. But the biggest test is this one. It's heavy enough. Ones that are copies made to deceive, they essentially use a foam core cast around it, and it's half the weight it should be. This is actually a really nice example, the best example of this kind of cannon I've ever seen.
Nice.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, before I give you a value, Rick, I think if we could shoot it, it'd be really fun, but it would also prove a higher value to Rick to see a working cannon.
I mean, are you going to ruin my patina? That's not going to happen, is it?
The patina will not be ruined.
Patina, as long as my patina's okay.
Your patina's going to be fine.
All right, so do we meet at the range?
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, cool.
You meet us there?
Yeah, see you guys there.
So you guys look like you're ready to go.
Hey, Rick.
Let's go where, Rick?
I mean, it looks perfect. I really think she's safe to fire.
All right, well, let's blow something up.
Anything that's associated with pirates is kind of folklorish and cool, and this is the ultimate piece. But being able to fire it is really important for collectors because you don't buy a cannon unless it can shoot. If it fires and it fires well, I'll be able to give an accurate value, and it should be pretty good. Thumb the vent.
All right.
All right. Introduce charge. Ramming. Introduce ball. Ramming. Okay, Rick, you can move your thumb.
Okay.
All right, she's rammed, she's ready.
Got
Eyes and ears on, please.
That was great.
That's like a lot better than a 44 mag, yeah.
So I think based on what we just saw and how well it performed, I would give a value on it at about $30,000.
Okay.
30.
Yeah.
35 with that patina? Come on.
Anything can happen in an auction.
All right.
But typically tubes like this that might not be quite as nice go for 15 to 20. I'm almost doubling the price. I think 30 is fair. Could you get more? Maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm safe at 30.
Okay.
All right?
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
Alex.
Leave
Thanks
you
a
guys
lot.
to it.
All right, see you, man.
That was fun.
So you wanted 15,000 for it, right?
That's, come on, 30.
I'd give you 18 grand for it.
I can't do 18. I mean,
You can put it in an auction, but like, if you get it in an auction, remember you're gonna pay a gazillion dollars in auction fees and everything else.
can you be at like, can you be at 25? Can we?
18 is what I could do. I mean, it's just, that's the number that makes sense to me.
That's it, max.
That's it.
I gotta hold on to it then. I'm sorry.
Well, if you change your mind, or if your wife makes you sell it, call me up.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
It was fun watching that thing go off, though, wasn't it?
Definitely.
It has been an incredible day. I bought 2/3 of the stuff that I came out here with, and I shot a badass cannon. I need to come to the East Coast more often.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
What do we got?
I got 5 tops 1967 Pete Rose baseball cards here, mint condition.
You got 5 Mona Lisas, too?
I'm dead, don't I wish?
I don't really know too much about Pete Rose, the baseball player. I'm a fan of Pete Rose, the gambler.
Yeah. Well, I used to be a big collector of baseball cards, and I don't collect any longer. I've got 5 of these 1967 Pete Rose baseball cards. They're in like mint condition. They've got to be worth some money.
Pete Rose was the man. Too bad he screwed up. I mean, he definitely would have gone down as one of the best baseball players that ever lived.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Fortunately, he's in that Shoeless Joe Jackson club that no one likes to be in.
When he was playing, he was one of the greats. I realize he's been banned, but I just still think they're really fabulous, neat cards. They're Pete Roses.
So how'd you come across these, man?
I was cleaning out the garage and stumbled across them.
What do you know about them?
They're authentic cards. They're labeled tops 430. The little cartoon shows him hitting one out of the park there. It's got all of his stats for the year. No tears, no marks.
You have any idea what these are worth?
No, I did do a little checking online. They should be worth about 50 bucks a piece, so it's about 2.5.
All right. Before I buy these, I gotta know that they're legit. And these things look like they're in great shape. Maybe a little too good a shape. My concerns are that they're in like almost too perfect shape and that you got 5 of them. I'm just not willing to take the risk of buying counterfeit cards. I just don't know enough about them to buy them.
Well, they're not counterfeit. They've been sitting in my garage for years.
Well, there's always a shot. Let me call my dad over and see what he knows about them. Hey, Pops. This guy's got 5 Pete Rose cards. Figured I'd let you look at them, seeing as how you don't trust me with anything.
Yeah, Pete Rose was the man back in the day. Won 3 World Series, over 4,000 hits. On the All-Star team 17 times. So what do you want to know about these?
If they're real?
I'd be willing to bet on Pete Rose's reputation these cards are real.
No.
How can you tell that? What do you mean?
Because the color's all faded. Everything's a blur. Even his face, it doesn't look silk screened. They're printed with an inkjet printer. And the picture looks overexposed. They probably scanned it and reprinted it. It's just not right at all.
They've been in my garage for years. I mean, they're good.
They've been faking baseball cards forever.
People come in here all the time and think just because they've had an item for years, it's real. No, what it means is years ago, they bought a fake.
And another suspect thing is all of a sudden you have 5 of them that are just perfect. These were bubblegum cards, so they were in a pack with bubblegum.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're not like baseball cards today that come in a nice, neat box where nothing screwed up.
Yeah.
These were old baseball cards that were just thrown out on the candy shelf. Kids would open them up. So it's really, really rare to find one in good shape. These things right here, I wouldn't touch them at all. They look completely fake to me.
Think you're wrong, but all right. I'll get something someplace else for them.
Okay, thanks for coming in.
Thanks. If these cards are fake, then what else is real? Is the wife real? The dog? The cat? What's real?
What do you got here?
I've got some of these bills from the 19th century.
Do you know anything about them?
I really don't.
What you have here is education money.
To like fund education or?
No, it was just to educate people about beautiful works of art. For the time, that was really risque to put bare breast on bills.
Yeah, I can see.
Let me check that out there.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell some old currency. I'm kind of scared because I'm supposed to be getting married in a month, and I spent $7,500 on this. If I don't get my money back, I'm going to have one pissed off fiance.
We have Bolton, inventor of the steamboat,
And that's Morse right there, Morse code. And it's like one of the few bills where Martha Washington's on it.
In 1896, the U.S. government issued silver certificates that were educational notes. The reason they did this is because if you lived in a rural community, you would never get to see art. There were no nearby museums. So they figured, hey, let's put them on money.
So where in the world did you get these?
I was at an estate sale. I got caught up in this auction, and man, I just really hope I can make something out of it.
Do you mind telling me what you paid for them?
$7,500. I'm always getting into some type of trouble. Yeah,
happens all the time, man.
This money is just, it's beautiful. I mean, it's the prettiest paper money the United States ever made, and arguably some of the prettiest paper money ever made in any country.
Is the artwork, you know, have anything to do with the value of it?
Well, that's one of the reasons why these are so collectible. But paper money is weird the way it's graded. There's 70 different grades of a piece of paper money, and the grade on these things is so important. The difference between a 50 and a 55 is thousands of dollars on a bill like this.
Wow.
This is worth anywhere from like $200 to $25,000.
Really, depending on the grade?
Depending on the condition of it.
Wow.
And when we start talking money like that, I have to have someone look at it. Let me call up a buddy of mine. He knows everything about this stuff, so we can get a better understanding of the grade of them.
No problem. That sounds good.
This guy's out of pocket $7,500, which makes him either a genius or an idiot. So I'm gonna get my buddy Leonard in here to have a closer look, and hopefully he'll have some good news.
Used to be a grader for the American Numismatic Association, and I've been buying and selling coins and paper money currency for over 45 years. These are some important banknotes. These are silver certificates from 1896. This is what we call the educational series.
So they all mean something?
They all mean something. This one is the $1 note. This is history educating youth. You know, young country. History's going to educate us. On the back, George and Martha. The $2 note, we've got science, electricity, and steam. On the back, we got Robert Fulton.
Right.
Samuel Morse.
Right.
Okay, and science is presenting electricity and steam to commerce and industry.
Okay.
In this one, we've got Civil War heroes, Grant, Sheridan. And this note shows electricity as the dominant force in the universe. This is 1896, they figured that out.
And I thought this was just a bunch of naked women on a bill.
The grading of these notes is what's important as far as their value. Were the notes used? How much were they used? Are they folded? Are they stained? Are they crisp? Are they nice and bright? Here's what we got here. The $1 note, we got a centerfold right here.
Okay.
Slight, it's hard to see, but it's there. And this note's worth $700. $2 note's got a horizontal fold, 3 vertical folds. This note's $2,500. Make you feel a little better?
That's a little better.
This note's got a very light center fold. It's the most desirable note of the 3. This note is worth $7,500, a little over $10,000 for the lot.
Thanks, Leonard.
Anytime.
Take care, buddy. $7,500 turned out to be a decent gamble for this guy, because most notes I've seen like this are beat to hell. They've been circulated. But these are in amazing shape. There's no question I want them.
So now that you know what they're worth, how much you want for them?
I'm thinking 10 grand.
I'm thinking 8 grand.
I just, spent $7,500 on these, and the risk I, took is just worth more to me than $500.
I'll let you make $1,000 off me, and not a dime more.
So 8,500?
8,500 is it, period.
You gotta think, man, $1,000 is a good profit on a complete gamble.
You know what? For $1,000, all right.
8,500. Corey, you want to write them up?
Yeah, let's go do some paperwork.
I'm so glad I kept my poker face. When he started to grab them, I thought he was out the door. Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Pretty good. And it's a sword.
It is a sword, but not just a regular sword. It's a special sword.
What makes it so special?
This was a King George horsehead sword, which is very rare, and it dates from around 1780. So this could have been a Revolutionary War sword.
Guy definitely had a smaller hand than me, because I can't even get my hand through this. My hand won't fit on it.
Yeah. I have a King George III era horsehead sword. I am a collector, and I'm passionate about military weapons, and especially swords. I am asking for $5,900. If I'm able to make a sale today, I would like to take my wife for a European vacation.
That's cool. For an officer in the Navy or the Army, one of the most important things when you went out was your sword. It had to be cool. This was a nice sword. You know, it wasn't the super rich, but it was definitely an officer's sword. You have the Royal Cipher right here, and we got like these gold inlays like that.
Sure. Look at the horse head. Look at the teeth on that horse bed.
This looks like it to be bronze, this right here. What I really am impressed with is his bluing right here.
Sure.
It takes a really good swordsmith to create bluing well enough to last a couple hundred years. Sure. It's short, very short, as a matter of fact. How much do you want for it?
I'm looking for $5,900.
It's interesting. I'm sort of puzzled why it's so small. But the horse head, I know it's desirable. There's not a whole lot of them out there. So I'd really like to call in Alex. He's my go-to guy for just about everything military, and he can tell us if we have a Revolutionary War sword here and answer a bunch of other questions. So give me a few minutes.
Sure, thank you. I've been doing this for a long time, but I do not know everything, so I'm happy to learn what the expert has to say.
Well, here's the little sword I told you about on the phone.
Yeah, it's cute.
It just seems odd to me being so short, and also I have no idea what this thing's worth.
Okay. Can I pick it up?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh. It is a British late 18th century military issue horsehead cutlass.
Okay.
Typically, horse heads were for cavalry or for land soldiers, not for naval soldiers. This chain guard really takes it away from the sense of a combat sword and more into the dress sword type of thing.
Blingy.
Blingy. Perfect. That's GR for George Rex. Rex is king in Latin, so it's George III. And then on the back, you have the lion and the unicorn and the British coat of arms.
Okay. Well, was it the Revolutionary War at all?
No, but it dates from about the Revolutionary War or early Napoleonic Wars. But there's a lot to like about this sword. Horse heads are rare, and they are sought after in the collector's market. This one in particular is pretty well detailed. The only thing that really sort of sticks out for me, this indentation that runs along the blade is called a fuller. Typically, a fuller is designed in the blade and ends a few inches before the end. This fuller, there's not a border here. My feeling is this sword was shortened by a few inches. So in value terms, it does impact it.
So what do you think it's worth?
I think if it were the full length, it would be in the $5,000 or $6,000-ish range. Based on how it is here, I think a retail value is $3,500.
Okay. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, all that said, what do you want for it?
$3,300.
Give you $2,000. It's a fair price. I'll go $2,300.
I can't do it.
If we had the rest of the blade here, you would have the rest of your money.
My absolute best price is $2,800.
Okay.
And
all right, so $2,350?
No, $2,800.
I mean, I'm not going to go any more than that.
And I can't do it.
All right, well, maybe next time.
Next time.
All right.
Thank you.
Change your mind, come and see me.
Okay, thank you.
Really, I would have paid the rest of the money if I had the rest of the sword.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hello. I have a 1956 Pez space ray gun.
Pez candy I always thought was disgusting. They started off as an aid to get people to stop smoking. You know, so it was a little round tablet that tasted like mint, but people didn't want to quit smoking. So they decided to turn it into fruit-flavored candies and make it into stuff, you know, kids would like. When I ever got one when I was a kid, I would just tear the whole package open and eat them at once.
So you didn't like Pez?
I didn't, but that's how I figured that out.
I'm here to sell my 1956 Pez space ray gun. I had the opportunity to purchase a very large collection, which included a lot of other vintage toys and collectibles, and this Pez space ray gun was one of those pieces. I don't have any personal sentimental value to it, but it's very nostalgic.
This is interesting.
I mean, I love Pez. Like in the 60s, they started making the 3D heads, and they had the little comics on the packaging.
Yeah, I think the first ones had like a Santa Claus head on them, and they get different licensing deals with, you know, Looney Tunes and all that stuff. And then in the early 90s, there was people out there paying just absolute crazy money for these things.
I was just at a candy convention. I went to the Pez people, and they gave me this Pez dispenser, and I looked it up on the internet, and it was already going for $200.
Yeah, I mean, the company's lasted forever, and they're doing something right. How would you use it?
Well, so it has this little piece right here. The cartridge comes out. And then you just put that down like so. And you're on that. And whenever you would pull the trigger here, the Pez would shoot out the actual front of the gun.
Okay, I'm sure that got discontinued pretty quick. You have kids just sticking a gun in their mouth and shooting candy, right? That seems kind of bizarre. So what are you looking to do with it?
I want to sell it.
What are you looking to get?
I'm asking $500.
Okay, I don't know what the market on Pez dispensers is like right now. One of my biggest issues is there was a massive influx of counterfeit and fake Pez dispensers. Mind if I have my buddy Steve come down and take a look?
Absolutely.
Can we give Steve a call?
Sure.
I have no problem with an expert coming in. I know it's an original, the item works, and it's in great condition for its age.
Got a Pez dispenser.
That's what you called me for.
I'm trying to put this thing in the candy shop.
That's a really cool piece for you to put in the candy shop, although I don't know if you can actually legally sell it or not.
No, I want to display it. Why couldn't I legally sell it?
You could.
Why couldn't I legally just sell it?
Because it was actually taken off the market because kids had a choking hazard with it.
Really?
So it was discontinued for that purpose. Yeah. When you told me what it was, I was like, oh man, I haven't seen one of these in so long. You know, 1956, this was basically like the third item that Pez offered on the market towards kids. Can I take a look at it?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Overall, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. And then it looks like you have your gun permit.
You can't have a gun without a gun permit.
Can't carry without the gun permit, that's correct. This was actually your instruction sheet. These are not usually available with the guns because this was the first thing that would go. So it's neat to see that intact and everything. So I think you've got a legit space gun from 1956.
So what do you think it's worth?
These are really desirable. I think you guys would have no problem getting $450 for it.
Well, I appreciate you coming.
Cool, thanks.
All right, thank you. See you later.
So, remind me again, how much were you looking for?
I'm looking to get $500.
What about 250 bucks?
How about $400?
How about 3? You smile, shake my hand, and say yes.
Oh, that's a tough one. 300 smiles, shake your hand.
Okay. Deal. Chum, you want to write them up?
Sure, let's go write it up.
I'm thrilled that I was able to make a deal here today. And while it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, it's enough to buy my wife a wonderful anniversary gift.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I'm hoping you can help me with this. A bronze Madonna bust.
Go ahead, put it up here.
Okay. Oh, you're strong. Look at you, man.
Well, that's not Madonna the pop singer.
Not at all. I have an exact cast of Michelangelo's Madonna bust, licensed by the Vatican. They sell for $80,000 if they're legit, and mine is totally legit. If I get what I want for this, I'm gonna let my wife renovate the kitchen however she wants.
This is pretty cool, man. This is supposed to be the Virgin Mary, right?
Correct. It comes from the Pietà, made by Michelangelo. The original is in the Vatican.
It's pretty neat. Michelangelo is probably recognized as one of the greatest artists of all time, even today. He's best known for the Sistine Chapel and David. He was doing just like these masterpieces, which a lot of the times artists do their masterpieces and they're not really noticed until long after they've passed. Yeah.
He was a rock star in his time.
Yeah, he was a rock star, you know, great artist. He did sculptures like this. He did paintings. He was a poet. The guy's talents were just endless. They never
Second to
seemed
none.
Yeah. His work is literally priceless. It's worth a fortune, you know, millions and millions of dollars sometimes. Why did you pick this up?
Well, I barter for everything. So I had the opportunity to trade some artwork for this beautiful piece.
It's really cool. It looks like it's in really good condition. Does it have any markings or anything like that on it?
It does. It's got the seal, the license from the Vatican.
154 out of 500.
That's it.
So the mold was relatively new when they casted this one. You know, sometimes the earlier the mold, the better the casting's gonna be. So that's good. You got that going for you there. It's a beautiful piece. I'm just not sure how sought after they are because Michelangelo himself didn't actually make this. That being said, I'm sure it has some type of value. And how much were you hoping to get?
80 grand. That's what it's valued at.
Holy cow. Yeah, I got no idea. I know the original is iconic, but this is just like a mold of that. I've got a few questions about it, so I'm definitely gonna have to have someone come take a look at it.
Yeah.
Do you have a few minutes to hang out?
Got all day. Take
All
your
right,
time.
I'll be right back.
All right, thanks. This is a real piece, and so I'm happy for anybody to come in and inspect it. They're just gonna prove that it is what it is.
Hey, chum,
How you
looking
doing?
good, man. Looking slim, man.
Hey, you know, trying to get like Madonna.
So you have a Madonna del Piata.
What do you think about it?
It's absolutely fantastic. You don't see these a lot of times. There's not a ton of them that come on the market. Michelangelo himself considered this work and, of course, the David his two greatest works. And it's an exact reproduction of Michelangelo's Madonna del Piata. This is the only piece that Michelangelo ever signed. They say the reason he did it is there were tourists even back in his day that went to the Vatican, and they identified it as a different work, and he heard them. And he carved his name right into it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
The mold for this was the marble, so the cast is exact. So with bronze, what you want to look at is any rough spots, any weirdness in the patina. Make sure the markings are right.
I see a marking right here.
Yeah, that's it.
154 out of 500.
Yeah, that's the new Renaissance right there. So that's what you want to see. Very, very, very nice patina on it. There's no damage. This is absolutely legitimate. This is the original New Renaissance that was commissioned by the Vatican. It's fantastic. So what do they want for it?
He's asking 80,000. Tell me what you think.
I think that's too high.
Ooh, Kai Koa.
This artwork on the secondary market in a gallery, it's right around $35,000.
But they're selling for 80.
If you get it from New Renaissance, it's 80,000. However, there are some on the secondary market. The secondary market's bearing right around 35,000.
So it's worth 80, just not today.
Yeah, not today. But the workmanship is fantastic, and there's no doubt this is one of the pieces that New Renaissance issued initially.
Okay, well, appreciate you coming down.
Hey, thanks, John. Take it easy.
I'm looking at like 20 grand.
Oh. 25?
23,000 is where I feel comfortable.
Okay, I got a deal for you. I'm like the barter king, so I trade for everything. I saw you had 100 pounds of silver, and that's about $24,000 if my math is correct. It'll get it out of your way. You'll get this out of my way.
Yeah, so long as the math checks out, I can do that deal.
Okay, let's check it.
Meet me up at the counter, I'll bust the calculator out and figure out where we're at.
Thank you very much.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm thrilled. I made a sale today. Instead of the $23,000 that he offered, I was able to get $24,000 worth of silver, 100 pounds. His cost in it may be a lot less, and the value to me is a lot more.
All right.
Oh, my Lily.
There she is.
I can't believe it.
Nice doing business with you.
Thank you very much. I love it.
I'm making this deal because I'm gonna show Rick how to buy something with something in the shop and then turn around and make a profit bigger than the profit I could have made if I paid cash.
Out we go.
What can I help you with?
Oh, I'd like to sell my gold medal.
What kind of guy sells his own Olympic medal?
My wife decided she needed furniture more than she needs this.
My wife thinks we need furniture more than the Harley. I just think it's ridiculous.
I came to the pawn shop today to see if I could sell my 1984 sample gold Olympic medal. I'd like to sell this for $2,000, but I'd probably settle for $1,000.
So where in the world did you get this?
Well, I had a pawn shop, and in 1987, this was brought in to me to pawn.
Okay. I see it's a sample. How did the person get it to pawn it to you?
He worked for Jostens, which is the manufacturer of the gold medal at that time.
Yeah, I know the salesmen used to take these around to the schools with them when they were selling the class rings. This is the goddess Nike right here. It's in great shape. When the modern Olympics started in the late 1800s, they gave out gold medals to the winners of each event. To this day, they still give out gold medals, and they can be worth a lot of money.
Was there anything really important about the '84 Olympics?
Yeah, this was the second time the Olympics were in LA. There's a lot of controversy about everyone who got the gold medals. They say, well, it really doesn't count as much since the Russians weren't there. What happened was the Russians invaded Afghanistan, so we had boycotted their Olympics. So in '84, they came up with an excuse to boycott our Olympics, and then we invaded Afghanistan later.
Right.
Olympic medals can be worth anywhere from thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But one given out to a well-known athlete like Carl Lewis or Michael Phelps, that would be priceless.
So what did you want for it?
I wanted to get $2,000 for it.
The problem with Olympic medals is there's so few that come on the market. It's really hard to come up with a price. You know, I don't mean to insult you or anything, but I'd give you like $300 for it.
Wouldn't split the difference with me? 1,000?
No, I'd go like $350. Problem is, it's a sample, it's in a nice case and everything, but it's still not the real deal.
Right.
I mean, I have the other Olympic medals, they've been sitting here forever. I think this would be even harder to sell. I mean, $350 would be it, man.
It's worth more than that. I'll have to pass.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it in, though, I appreciate it.
I'm disappointed I couldn't sell my medal, but I feel that it is worth more than what they have right now.